The day I announced my departure from the entertainment industry, Willow Serene was photographed, coming and going with the full moon's radiance looked on. Some people online mocked the destructive power of that full moon's glow. Even a film emperor couldn't withstand. After that, I left Capital City Television, just as Willow Serene attended the press conference for Luke Dawn's film premiere. A reporter asked me, "Mr. Felix, why are you leaving the industry this time?" They say it's to return home for an arranged marriage. Hearing this, Willow Serene let out a soft laugh, confidently saying, "No way, he can't leave me anymore." Felix at 20 would indeed not have, but now I'm 27. I should run towards someone who truly loves me. On that birthday, as I stepped into the private room, I heard a familiar voice ring out. The male lead role in this film, give it to Luke Dawn. I don't want to repeat myself. Felix, any problem? Willow Serene's voice carried a hint of coldness, completely unlike her gentle, soft demeanor of the past. Perhaps because she was angry. The knife and fork in her hand clinked against the plate, producing a sharp, piercing sound. I pursed my lips tightly, trying to shift my gaze away from her impatient expression. Just then, the phone on the table buzzed incessantly. As I left the private room to answer it, I happened to run into Luke Dawn about to push the door open. Luke Dawn looked me up and down. Chuckling lightly, I heard, "Today's your birthday. Serene called me to celebrate with you." Around his neck was a necklace, adorned with a gemstone that 2 days prior, Willow Serene had bid a high price for at an auction. Dazzling and radiant, I nodded, brushing past him, finding a quiet spot. The call connected. It was my sister's voice, lazy and carefree. "Happy birthday! Grandpa the big star has returned to the country. Get ready, your arranged marriage is with Pearl Frost." The arranged marriage was set when I was young. Grandpa and his old war buddy had decided it. After Grandpa fell ill and went abroad for treatment, no one mentioned it again. Until now, I lowered my eyes, interrupting her. "Ill return for the arranged marriage. I know the Frost family has many rules. Before I go back, I'll settle my affairs and leave the entertainment industry." When I returned to the private room, I saw Willow Serene sitting intimately beside Luke Dawn. In front of Luke Dawn was a piece of steak Willow Serene had cut for him. "Brother Felix," Serene said, "you're willing to give up the film Destiny to me. I know Destiny might not mean much to you, but for me, it's a crucial turning point to return to the big screen. Thank you, Brother Felix." Luke Dawn's tone was neither heavy nor light. I couldn't detect much gratitude, but I clearly heard 10 parts triumph. His call of Brother Felix carried a hint of disdain. I felt nothing. Just as I was about to speak, Willow Serene cut in. "Dawn, what's there to think? It's just a film. Besides, you're naturally more suited than Felix." The admiration and adoration in Willow Serene's eyes were blatant, unhidden. My ears suddenly echoed my sister's indifferent warning. "Little Felix, you may want to marry, but she may not want to. Don't blame me for being blunt, but Willow Serene like this is clearly testing you." I stayed silent for a long time, suppressing the sadness I couldn't contain, forcing a smile. This film was chosen for me by director Lee. I don't have the authority to give it up. Miss Willow should know. The casting for Island of Separation isn't something anyone can interfere with. Willow Serene glanced at me, softly dropping a line. "That's why you're such an eyesore." 7 years since my debut, from small projects to the big screen, Willow Serene had almost always been by my side as I grew. Now she more than anyone knew. This Destiny film by Island of Separation was for me a significant milestone. But now, I suddenly felt it didn't matter anymore. Not that the film wasn't important, but that Willow Serene no longer was. I stayed silent for a long time, until Willow Serene's impatient voice rang out. "Felix, any problem?" I gave a self-mocking smirk. "No problem." Before returning to the private room, I called to apologize to Director Lee. He tried to persuade me at length. For this film, I had trained for 3 years in a theater troupe to hone my acting, until he heard I was preparing to marry. Willow Serene's brows furrowed slightly, barely noticeable. She probably didn't expect me to let go so easily. "Oh, Brother Felix, don't be mad. I've actually picked out a few roles That suit you. In a few days, pick one alright. A slap followed by a sweet candy. Since Luke Dawn returned, Willow Serene always used the tone I once loved most when she acted coy, taking nearly all my resources. If Luke Dawn wanted something, I had to yield. During heated arguments, I once asked her if one day he wants even me. Do I have to yield to? Willow Serene said she wouldn't. Now I seem to realize something. She wouldn't, not because she didn't want to leave. When I left the restaurant, my heart felt like it was bleeding. Willow Serene crossed her arms, letting out a cold hum. Luke Dawn naturally took off his jacket, draping it over her. I glanced once and looked away. Willow Serene, somewhat uneasy, cleared her throat. Irritated, she said, "Felix, why didn't you take off your jacket for me? The car's here, I'm leaving first." I smiled, cutting her off, my mood suddenly calmer than before. The nanny van slowly stopped in front of the three of us. Behind it was a familiar sports car. When the car door opened, Luke Dawn suddenly spoke. "Brother Felix, come along. You've done me such a big favor. I want to treat you to a proper drink to thank you." As he spoke, he gently ruffled Willow Serene's hair. "Have you forgotten whose boyfriend you are? Always clinging to me. Careful, Brother Felix might get jealous and not want you anymore. What would you do then?" Willow Serene looked at Luke Dawn, her eyes filled with a tenderness I'd never seen. "He won't head never leave me." "You bad guy, Luke Dawn. Are you saying I'm annoying?" She put her hands on her hips, playfully glaring at Luke Dawn from start to finish. She didn't glance at me once. "How could I find you annoying? You're my little princess." "Little princess, please get in the car." Luke Dawn took the keys from the valet, opened the car door. Willow Serene curved her lips into a smile, slipping into the sports car. Luke Dawn was Willow Serene's first love. In our third year together, Willow Serene, drunk and crying, accidentally called out Luke Dawn's name. A film emperor once at the peak, then suddenly left the industry, went abroad and vanished. That night I barely slept. Until Willow Serene sobered up. She nestled into my arms, telling me everything. Youthful, impulsive love. Only upon reuniting did she realize how much she had wronged him. So when they met again, what happened I don't know. I only know that afterward Willow Serene was even more generous with me. She spared no effort pouring resources into me, saying she loved watching me act, loved seeing me confident in front of the camera. The day I auditioned for my first role, Willow Serene followed the producer to the set to learn, convincing the producer, ignoring all objections, to let me play the male lead. That film later made waves. My agent took me to a party, told me to thank the film's investor. Willow Serene was there too. I don't know if my drink was spiked or hers. She frantically pulled me out of the private room. That night, I and Willow Serene did things we should and shouldn't have. The thrill of that first encounter, like a flood breaking a dam, I was completely swept away. After that, Willow Serene supported me, just like she now supports Luke Dawn. I went to the apartment Willow Serene gave me. Since Luke Dawn returned, Willow Serene rarely visited. The occasional 1 or 2 times were to take my announcements and resources. She told me to wait at the apartment. After hearing me say it was fine, she'd hurriedly leave. But today she probably wouldn't come. Before going to the apartment, I called the property manager, asking for a few large cardboard boxes. I turned on the music and began packing up the apartment bit by bit. The photos on the display cabinet I took down one by one. Willow Serene didn't like taking photos, or rather didn't like taking them with me. The shared photos displayed were mostly promotional shots from commercial events we attended together, but I still treasured them like precious gems. After packing the boxes, Willow Serene emailed me a few new scripts. She messaged again, "Brother Felix, the company's been busy lately. I'm going on a business trip for the next half month. I might not reply to messages in time. Once you choose, contact my assistant directly. Okay. Happy birthday. Good night." I smirked, not replying. Before leaving the apartment, I erased my fingerprint from the door lock. The keys and access card were placed on the tray in the hallway cabinet. But the evening shift property manager hesitantly asked, Mr. Felix, you don't need it anymore. Yeah, I don't need it anymore. Please handle it for me. Thank you. The day the Destiny cast was announced, Willow Serene was on a business trip abroad. She rarely called me. Brother Felix, didn't you like any of those scripts? I heard from my assistant you haven't contacted him. Her voice lacked emotion, like she was asking out of work habit, missing the playful charm of before. My sister lazily leaned back in the passenger seat when she heard Willow Serene's voice. Her brows furrowed, showing displeasure. I haven't taken any films lately. I have other plans. In driving, hanging up now. Willow Serene didn't say anything, but before the call ended, a faint male voice came through the car speaker. Brother Felix, are you still upset about the Destiny thing? Serene apologizes, it's all my fault. I took a deep breath, facing my sister's scrutinizing gaze. I can handle the contract matters myself. Don't worry. Considering the reputation of Willow Serene's company, the commercial terms in the contract were mostly in my favor. Even breaching it wouldn't cause much impact. If there's anything, come find me. Drop me off at the intersection ahead. To meet Pearl Frost, my sister nodded, but her voice faltered at the corner of her mouth. She awkwardly shifted her gaze out the car window. Pearl Frost happened to be in Capital City for work. Once you're done here, we'll head back to South City together until I finalized all the contracts. Willow Serene seemed to hear no news. Before whenever I made the slightest move, she was always the first to know, worried I'd run into trouble. The day I decided to leave the industry, I even worried she'd interfere. After posting the official announcement on Weibo, I smiled. I'd overthought it and felt a wave of relief. This was good. A vague start, a clean end. The Weibo post was scheduled in advance. When I stepped out after a shower, my phone had several missed calls from my parents, from industry friends, and from producers and directors I'd worked with before with whom I had good relations. My sister's call came through too. Her voice slightly urgent, are you home? Is it convenient I'm coming over now? When she appeared at my door drenched in sweat, I learned. The hot search exploded with photos of Willow Serene and Luke Dawn abroad, coming and going from a hotel, and pictures at tourist spots leaked out. Just as I announced my departure, many mocked how devastating the full moon's glow must be. Look at Felix's midnight post about leaving the industry to know. I stared at the highly liked comment on the screen. My heart felt no ripples. Little Felix, you okay? If already got people to take down the posts, don't take it too hard. I wanted to say it wasn't necessary. The Frost family is in politics. I didn't care, but the Frost family might. And one really didn't want to be entangled with Willow Serene anymore. Willow Serene returned to Capital City and contacted me on the second day. The hot search had mostly been cleared. Even the keyword about my industry exit had its heat continuously suppressed. Willow Serene asked me to meet at the apartment. As I reached the door, still hesitating whether to enter the code, the door opened from inside. She was wearing high heels, her coat buttons all undone, looking like she'd just arrived. She pouted, her voice nasal. Felix, why are you leaving the industry? Is it because you believe the online rumors about me and Luke Dawn? I told you I only feel guilty toward him. Or do you not believe I love you? I pursed my lips tightly, searching my mind for every moment. She said she loved me, probably before Luke Dawn returned. I looked up, meeting Willow Serene's questioning gaze. Just want to rest for a while. These years running around filming, it's exhausting. Gramp is back in the country. Family matters are piling up. I'm preparing to go back for a bit. I didn't mention Luke Dawn before leaving Capital City. I didn't want to clash with Willow Serene anymore, so I calmly laid out my plans for the near future, except for the arranged marriage. Willow Serene sighed in relief. She tried to link arms with me, but I subtly dodged. I brushed past her, heading toward the TV cabinet. As I opened the drawer to get cold medicine, Willow Serene's phone rang. She hurriedly left, her voice nearly cut off by the door. Brother Felix, I have a meeting going now. Tell me when you're back. I'll see you off then. My last days in Capital City, I met up with some college friends who had settled there. When they asked about my future plans, they sighed a bit. You're a young actor, with the best shot at a major award, leaving just like that. So decisive, I gave a faint smile, not hiding the arranged marriage. Marriage is secondary, mainly returning to inherit the family business. My sister's been pushing hard. Everyone burst out laughing, until I brought up Willow Serene. Their smiles faded. Their faces turned serious. I haven't told her about the marriage. If she asks you guys, thinking Willow Serene probably wouldn't care. I shook my head, never mind. She probably won't ask you anyway. That night we drank at a bar until midnight, until each of their wives called repeatedly, urging them home. Then we parted, but at the bar's entrance, the cold wind hit, sobering me more than half. I rarely drank for unavoidable drinking parties. Willow Serene seldom called to check on me. Even if she did, it was her assistant calling, explaining Mr. Felix. Miss Willow's busy today. She asked me to check in with you after Luke Dawn returned. Whenever I attended a party with him, Willow Serene's calls came nonstop. She even showed up in person. Back then, she deliberately kept her distance from Luke Dawn. I knew she wasn't there out of concern for me. When Willow Serene appeared at my door, I was quite surprised, because tomorrow I was leaving Capital City. Movers were bustling in and out. The moment Willow Serene stepped out of the elevator, she was unhappy. Why are you suddenly moving? Brother Felix, are you still mad at me? Or do you not need me anymore? I froze, about to speak. Luke Dawn stepped out of the elevator, wearing a tailored suit, designed by Willow Serene's favorite designer. Don't keep testing a man's heart like that. He pulled Willow Serene's hand, bringing her to his side, then explained to me, Brother Felix, I asked Serene to bring me to see you. You're not coming back, are you? I glanced at the empty living room, casually replying, preparing to go home for a while. This place was rented anyway. The lease is almost up, so I discussed with the landlord to return it. Everything's been moved out. Can't invite you guys in to sit. When I first came to Capital City for college, my parents worried I wouldn't adjust to dorm life, bought me a house. Later, my roommates were great. I didn't move in until I started filming. I always said it was rented. The day I decided to leave, I listed the house through an agent. Just 2 days ago, the title transfer was completed. Willow Serene didn't say anything. Her gaze lingered on my face, as if observing my emotions. Luke Dawn glanced at the living room, then spoke. Tomorrow's the premiere of my first film since returning. The press conference wants to invite you. Serene said texting you would do, but I thought speaking in person would be better. You'll come, right? Brother Felix want. I have a flight tomorrow. After signing the mover's invoice, I finally responded. Luke Dawn, truly a film emperor made from one role. Luke Dawn paused briefly. A hint of disappointment flashed across his face. He looked at Willow Serene. His voice lowered. Brother Felix, do you blame me? Serene helped me so much. Because back then when I first met Luke Dawn, I couldn't stay calm. Whenever he mentioned his past with Willow Serene, my possessiveness flared up. I even wanted to punch him a few times. But the calmer he was, the pettier I seemed. The more Willow Serene sided with Luke Dawn, the angrier I got. Later, I tried to avoid meeting Luke Dawn, even at shared events. I didn't initiate greetings. I thought this would reduce conflict between us, and Willow Serene and I would argue less. But I was wrong. He always showed up, even on that birthday. I specifically told Willow Serene I only wanted it to be the two of us. Luke Dawn still came. I stepped back, my voice calm to the point of no inflection. No, I also think destiny suits you well. Otherwise, Island of Separation wouldn't have agreed to let you act. Miss Willow, right? Willow Serene's face stiffened. It took her a while to react. What did you call me? When my sister came to pick me up for the airport, there was a girl beside her. I guessed it was probably Pearl Frost. She was different from what I imagined. Long black hair reaching her waist, a simple light-colored long dress, a finely tailored wool coat. She was gentle, smiling softly at me. Seeing the suitcase in her hand, I offered to take it. Let me carry that. Felix, welcome back to South City. Her voice was clear, pleasant. My sister gave a casual smile, punching my shoulder. Got a wife and forgot your sister. Didn't see my suitcase. For some reason, my heart suddenly raced, especially at the word white. Just call me Little Felix. Pearl Frost nodded, calling out brother Little Felix. On the way to the airport, Willow Serene called me several times. I didn't answer. My ears suddenly recalled her words. I'll see you off then. I stared at the call history, casually checking the delivery info. Seeing the recipient had signed for it, I blocked Willow Serene's number. Before leaving, I had someone send a package to Willow Corporation's front desk. A simple breakup letter and a bank card. The amount in the card, enough to cover the apartment Willow Serene once gave me. Time was tight. The apartment hadn't been dealt with yet. Pearl Frost glanced at me a few times, hesitant to speak. Your ex-girlfriend. I didn't plan to hide it from her. Yeah, I guess so. Pearl Frost gave a cheerful little laugh, bending down to pick up the wallet I dropped, then said, before the plane took off, Luke Dawn's film press conference was nearing its end, thanks to Willow Corporation's investment and presence. Plus, a few days earlier, reporters swarmed with questions due to the hot search, mostly about the relationship between Willow Serene and Luke Dawn, until one reporter mentioned me. I heard Mr. Felix is leaving the industry this time to return home for an arranged marriage. Miss Willow, is this true? Not just me. My sister's attention was drawn to the live interview. She was about to ask me. Willow Serene suddenly let out a soft laugh. Her smile was ostentatious and carefree, her tone indifferent but full of certainty. No way he wouldn't. Luke Dawn's smile nearly froze on his lips. I lowered my eyes. Mimicking Willow Serene's tone, I muttered, why wouldn't I? During the best times with Willow Serene, I once teased her playfully. Willow Serene, if you dare like another man, believe it or not, I'll go home, inherit the family business, and find someone for an arranged marriage. Willow Serene was so mad she pounded my chest. She climbed onto me, deliberately biting my lip, asking over and over who I wanted to marry. Tell me, who do you want to marry? Until I begged for mercy, saying I didn't want to marry anyone. Only you. I gave a soft laugh. Time passed. I came to understand the phrase birds in the sky, fish in the sea, each to their own path. When I set foot in South City's airport, my mood completely relaxed because I was often away filming. These past years, I rarely came home. Even during the Lunar New Year, I seldom returned. The occasional visits lasted only a day or two. My sister often called secretly Big Star. You may not need me, but you can't not need mom, and they don't say it, but I know they really want me back. Before returning didn't stir much emotion, but now there was an indescribable sense of familiarity. Until I saw my parents and grandpa waiting in the airport lobby. My heart suddenly ached with each beat. My steps quickened into a light jog. When I stood before them, my voice trembled. Grandpa, mom, dad, I'm back. From now on, I'll stay in South City with everyone. My mom gently patted my hand, her voice choked with emotion. Good to be back, good to be back. When my sister approached, I had composed my emotions. Pearl Frost followed, pushing the luggage cart. I ran over to take it from her, smiling awkwardly. Pearl Frost didn't mind, greeting my grandpa naturally, familiarly. Greeting my parents, Grandpa Felix, Uncle Felix, and song brother Little Felix just returned. Your family must have a lot to talk about. I'll visit in a few days. Pearl Frost dropped us off at home before leaving. As she left, I called out to her, Frost, free tomorrow. I want to talk with you. A smile lit up Pearl Frost's eyes. Then tomorrow, come pick me up. I'll send you my location. The next day, I arrived early, waiting outside Pearl Frost's house. As she got in the car, she pressed an exquisite glass cup into my hand. Brother Little Felix had breakfast yet. My mom made bird's nest and snow fungus soup this morning. It's cold, drink this to warm up. South City's changed a lot. After I parked the car, Frost led me to some bustling spots. We wandered until noon when she found a private restaurant. When the menu was placed before me, I paused for a second. When I was with Willow Serene, I mostly went along with her tastes. Whatever she ate, I ate. Sometimes to maintain my figure, I didn't eat at all. I pushed the menu back to Frost. "I'm not picky, order what you like." Frost smiled, taking the menu, ordering a few dishes, all ones I liked. I looked at her in surprise. "Did my sister tell you?" Frost shook her head. "I noticed from watching your vlogs before. Not sure if your tastes have changed these years." The Frost family is strict about etiquette, but Frost doesn't like being constrained. As the only daughter, her family doted on her, letting her start a business with my sister, running her own company. "I mean, I'm your fan. You can keep doing the work you love. No need to worry about anything." When Frost spoke, her eyes sparkled brightly. She looked at me earnestly, each word clear. "Brother, little Felix. Passion is very important." Until evening, Frost's words still echoed in my mind. Before I knew, the Frost family had many rules. So I thought, as an actor, I wasn't suitable for an arranged marriage with them. But now Frost told me passion is important, like the passion I had in my early vlogs. Passion for acting. In my first years in the industry, I loved filming vlogs, recording and sharing my life, my work. Sometimes dragging my agent to eat late-night BBQ and beer. Sometimes running morning and night to stay in shape. To overcome my fear of heights, I hung myself on cables all day. Later, Willow Serene told me, as a public figure, I needed to watch my image and behavior. So I set all my vlogs to private, stopping posts. That's when I realized, back then Frost had quietly been paying attention to me. When I visited the Frost family with my parents, I specially prepared many gifts. After agreeing to the arranged marriage, both families quietly prepared the wedding. When my parents spoke to me, 8 out of 10 sentences praised Frost's gentleness and grace. The living room suddenly buzzed with warmth. Frost's mom had a relaxed personality, completely unlike my impression of the Frost family. My mom took Frost's hand. On her wrist was a jade bracelet, one my mom only wore for important occasions. Later, I learned that bracelet was a family heirloom. Frost is so beautiful. No wonder my boy kept mentioning her when he was little. When childhood was brought up, Frost's face suddenly flushed. I found it odd, thinking mom said it on purpose. I didn't dwell on it. Frost's mom laughed, calling me. Frost said her mom grew up in the north. Unlike South City's gentleness, Frost's mom would pinch her dad's ear when displeased, and Grandpa Frost doted on her the most. I smiled and nodded, starting to genuinely think marrying Frost might not be bad. Lost in thought, Grandpa Frost called me over. Frost followed closely, as if afraid I'd be scolded by her grandpa. Not even married yet, and she's already worried for her husband. Grandpa Frost fumed, glaring, but his smile wouldn't stop. I always thought Grandpa Frost was stern. Now he seemed so kind. "My girl has quite a temper. Be patient with her in the future. If she's unreasonable, tell us. Well, discipline her." I smiled in response. The wedding was set for New Year's Day, probably less than half a month away. I thought the tight schedule meant we'd only get ready-made wedding dresses, but to my surprise, my sister had secretly ordered 2 custom ones for Frost. When I went to try on dresses with Frost, I understood how a single glance could captivate for 10,000 years. Frost lifted her dress as she stepped out, a bit nervous, not daring to look at me. Her voice trembled. "Does it look good?" My chest felt like something exploded. At that moment, I truly felt I was really getting married. Beautiful, so beautiful. For some reason, my heart surged with an indescribable emotion, wanting to cry and laugh at once. Seeing Frost flustered, my eyes suddenly stung. I turned away, trying to compose myself, making Frost even more nervous. "Brother, little Felix, thank you for agreeing to marry me. It feels like a dream." I shook my head, nervously grasping her hand in mine. "Silly girl, Frost, I'm the one who should thank you. Thank you for agreeing to marry me." Our wedding invitations were handwritten by me. I'd studied calligraphy for years as a child. Never thought it'd come in handy today. The ink soaked into the paper. Frost hugged my waist from behind. My body tensed, then relaxed, gradually accepting Frost's love and trying to adapt. "Sorry I startled you." Frost let go, stepping back. When I turned around, I met her faintly sad eyes. I stepped closer to her, pulled her into my arms, kissed her forehead lightly. It's okay a few times and I'll get used to it. Frost's eyes instantly brightened like clouds parting for sunlight. Her smile was radiant. She stood on tiptoe nearing my lips. A light touch. As she was about to say something, I tightened my grip on her waist, holding her lips. The word love is truly magical, making hearts leap with joy. Until my sister burst into the study. Felix, I gently let Frost go, irritated glaring at my sister, until Frost nervously left my embrace. I turned back, picked up the calligraphy brush, hurriedly writing invitations, my heart beating a bit fast, my hands slightly trembling. The days with Frost made me understand another truth. What amazes you won't come too early, but always at the right time. When Willow Serene found she couldn't reach me, she was so anxious her voice trembled. She had her assistant check my itinerary. Confirming I'd gone to South City, she relaxed a bit. She thought I was still mad about the destiny thing, so she didn't look for me again. It was like this before. When she upset me, she was too lazy to coax, letting me cool off first. After a few days, a little coyness and everything would be fine. But this time, she didn't expect I'd block her outright. Luke Dawn told her no way. Helping Felix act like this would only hurt both their futures. So this time, as usual, he let me cool off. But over a month passed. I still hadn't unblocked her, until her assistant brought in a package. Miss Willow just now at the front desk. We found Felix sent you a package a month ago. Willow Serene's eyelids twitched inexplicably. She hurriedly opened it. Inside was a bank card and a handwritten letter. The letter's contents were simple, barring anything unexpected. We probably won't meet again. Willow Serene, wishing you peace for years to come. She had her assistant check the card's balance. 8 million. Willow Serene suddenly remembered. On my birthday, I'd asked her about the apartment's value. She didn't think much, saying it was 8 million. Willow Serene nearly lost it. She grabbed her car keys, rushing to the apartment. Pushing the door open, she saw the keys and card on the entryway cabinet. Her throat inexplicably choked up. She walked into the living room, then the bedroom, looking around. The photos of us together, the models she gave me, were completely gone. When she asked my close friends, their words were eerily consistent. She seemed to realize I might truly not need her anymore. When I got Willow Serene's call, it was 3 days before my wedding. Her voice was icy and furious. Felix, you've gone too far this time. You think leaving a breakup note and a bank card means we're really done? Do you know her words were cut off. Luke Dawn snatched the phone, his voice as calm as ever. Brother Felix, do you know how frantic Serene has been these days? We're both men. We should indulge Serene a bit. Can't let her be sad. Oh right, I heard you're getting married, right? Frost answered my phone while I was busy in the kitchen baking. She brought my phone in. I didn't think much, asking her to answer, and she put it on speaker. Hearing the voices, my sister was the first to barge into the kitchen. I was carefully spreading frosting, nonchalantly replying, yeah. Anything else? If not, I'm hanging up. The other end clearly froze. Then came the sound of something falling. In Capital City, Willow Serene's voice was full of disbelief. Felix, tell me, who are you marrying? Did you forget you said you wouldn't leave? Willow Serene's words grew harsher. Before my sister could curse, I quickly cut her off. You said that was before. Now I'm preparing to marry. Any problem? On the wedding day, my sister kept tight security, fearing Willow Serene would cause a scene. She did come, but didn't enter the banquet hall. Instead, she stormed into Frost's dressing room. Frost was sitting at the vanity, the makeup artist adjusting her look. Willow Serene clenched her fists, taking a long moment to find her voice. She stood behind Frost, her gaze meeting Frost's in the mirror. Miss Frost, the one Felix is marrying is you. You're close enough with Felix to marry. Does he love you? When I rushed in with others, I overheard Willow Serene's questioning tone to Frost. My tense heart calmed upon seeing Luke Dawn behind her. Luke Dawn pulled Willow Serene's hand, softly urging Serene, Don't make a fuss, brother Felix has decided to marry. Let's wish him well, okay. Luke Dawn followed Willow Serene to South City. I didn't expect that. Even less did I expect. During my time away from Capital City, Luke Dawn hadn't officially reconciled with Willow Serene. I stepped to Frost's side, facing Willow Serene. For the first time, I felt disgust toward her. Miss Willow, do you have urgent business with my wife? Years ago, the Frost family held status in Capital City, higher than their current standing in South City. Later, they retreated to South City. It seems Willow Serene knew about Frost, so she gave a slight smile. Miss Frost, marry if you must. But stealing my boyfriend, what's that about? When Frost was angry enough to act, my sister burst in. Holding a baseball bat, she struck Luke Dawn. Years of resentment toward Willow Serene poured out. Willow Serene's face instantly paled. Luke Dawn gritted his teeth, not making a sound. When my sister tired of hitting, Luke Dawn propped himself up, his face full of pain, looking at Willow Serene satisfied. Serene, come back with me. Willow Serene shook her head repeatedly, ignoring Luke Dawn. She covered her mouth, staring at me, tears streaming down. Miss Willow, enough, you're overacting. I glanced at Willow Serene, coldly mocking. Over the years, because of Willow Serene, I truly had no industry dating rumors, but she never acknowledged our relationship. No response, no public statement. Only now, when we've parted ways, did she admit our past. Perhaps she thought I'd be moved. A deep confession in front of her first full moon, even disregarding that moon's life or death. But I only found it laughable. When I took Frost's hand and left the dressing room, Willow Serene and Luke Dawn were surrounded by people my sister brought. She glanced at Willow Serene, coldly reminding, you came. Not even a proper congratulations. Willow Serene was practically forced to watch my entire wedding with Frost. Right after the ceremony, she and Luke Dawn were taken to the hospital. My sister had someone handle Luke Dawn's hospital transfer on the spot. The ambulance from South City to Capital City took nearly 11 hours. They say Willow Serene didn't speak the whole way. No matter what Luke Dawn said, she stayed silent. When Frost changed to toast guests, I told her about it. Her mood dipped slightly, lips pursed tightly. You're not upset, are you? Or maybe a tiny bit reluctant. I froze, intending to tell her I was truly done with Willow Serene, not expecting her to be jealous. Before I could reply, Frost lifted her dress, heading toward the banquet hall, dramatically dragging her voice. Oh my, this dress is so heavy. Anyone kind enough to help? I burst out laughing, helping her with the dress. Silly girl. Not reluctant. I just think her coming was unnecessary. We should both move forward. But my future is with you. During the toasts, I unexpectedly saw Director Lee Island. Frost greeted him warmly. I thought you wouldn't come. Lee Island's eyes teasingly glanced at me and Frost. When Brother Felix said he was getting married, I thought he was marrying some heiress and leaving the industry. If I'd known it was this girl, I wouldn't have let him go. Frost slightly clinked her glass with Lee Island's. There's still time. Shall I save a spot for my husband? Lee Island sipped his wine, looking at me. There's a script even better suited for you than Destiny. The film Lee Island mentioned was called Silence. The next autumn, Frost and I joined the crew. Destiny was also set for release. Winfrey, Frost, and I went to the theater to watch it. Luke Dawn ultimately couldn't participate. He proposed to Willow Serene. The rejection made the hot search staying up for days. Director Lee found Willow Serene. They agreed to recast. To suppress the embarrassing news, Willow Serene's wedding news was quickly announced. As my sister said, her place was never with me. After Silence premiered, it made a huge splash. Thanks to that film, I won the Grand Slam Film Emperor Award. During the interview, a reporter asked back, then you chose to leave the industry, then returned. What did you go through? I looked at Frost holding a camera below the stage, earnestly replying, I met someone. She told me passion is very important. Taking this chance, I want to say to her, actually having her, my life is already a grand slam. That night, Frost and I held each other, neither willing to let go. Later, I learned Willow Serene was at the press conference too. 3 years after the wedding, I always whispered in Frost's ear, repeating that passion is very important. And so is she. 5 years after the wedding, in the study, I stumbled upon a notebook. It recorded nearly my entire life, every film I made, every event, every significant moment, even preferences I casually mentioned in vlogs. Frost remembered clearly. I flipped through it, my eye stopping at the first photo. Frost looked about 3 or 4, sitting on a step, holding a lollipop bigger than her face. Frost entered the study seeing what I held. A bit flustered and nervous, Miss Frost. You hid this well. I curved my lips, pulling her into my arms. Later, Frost told me about that childhood photo. The male lead role in this film, give it to Luke Dawn. At 4, I comforted a crying 3-year-old Frost, giving her a lollipop. 4-year-old Felix asked the 3-year-old girl, "So will you marry me later?" Frost didn't understand but wanted the candy, lisping okay. Then the 2 old men set the engagement. Truly at the right time. I never told Frost. In the darkness, I once walked silently. She came like a bullet, like fireworks.